Good morning, friends, and very happy to welcome you once again. And Hemant sir, are you there? Hemant?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can have some opening remarks. Actually, I have forgotten to.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
No, just have a small introduction, and so that we will have the session. And I want to, welcome.
So, as usual, thank you very much, sir, for organizing this wonderful event. Just before going to our bank audit, as usual, every year we used to upgrade our knowledge through your these mega seminar sessions. So, friends, in fact, it is a very small circle, so that don't hesitate to ask questions. So kindly ask questions. Start any point of stage. Disturb the sir and get the questions and get it rectified and get our knowledge to be updated. And don't keep any single small doubt also in our mind related to bank audit. So sir is allowed to answer, or else at least we are hesitant to ask questions. We can put in the chat box. So simultaneously, sir also look into the chat box. So that was the practice. So thank you very much for organizing this wonderful event, sir. On behalf of all participants, we convey our respects and thanks for the Guruji. So I request, without any wasting of further any minute, I request sir to continue with the planning and documentation process. Okay. Over to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Hemant sir. I'm going to start with the planning and documentation. Whatever your doubt, please put it in the chat box. Otherwise, you can unmute yourself and you can ask any question. And slowly I'm going, because it's a starting point is planning. Whenever we are entering into the statutory, we have to plan. So what are the things that we have to plan? What are the things that you have to carry to the audit that we have to see? So I'm going to start with planning and documentation. And now I am going to start with planning. Before you leave the office, suppose you have got your appointment letter from the bank, you are going to the audit, you are going to the branch to do the audit. What are the things that you have to carry? What are the things that you have to take care? Thing you must know. So that is, before you leave your office, what are the things that you have to carry? That is, first take the original and copy of the branch appointment letter. That is very important. The original and branch appointment letter that you have to carry. Normally, few people, what they do, they have taken everything in the mobile, but they have forgotten the original copy. So you have to carry the hard copy of the appointment letter given by your head office, and simultaneously you have to take Xerox copy of the appointment letter, and you have to give all the Xerox copies to all your staff, because nobody can question you. So suppose if anybody missed one appointment letter copy, so he can, other guy also can come and do it. So first take the original and copy of the branch appointment letter. Next one is prepare introduction letter you have to prepare. Suppose if you are not going to the branch, first you have to write your covering letter saying that I have been allotted the audit, and you have to hand over the letter to the staff. You have to mention the staff name, and you have to give the authorization to your staff to enter in the branch. And you have to hand over the letter to the branch manager. Simultaneously, the staff, he has to sign the letter. He has to sign the letter, because you have to endorse the signature of your staff. That is very important. So first thing is appointment letter. Next one is introduction letter to carry the to the audit. And audit program. This audit program is a different thing. I'll share you in detail in the part of the same program. I'll definitely share. I'm going to deal with each and every point. First thing, you have to prepare your audit program. Which area you have to start? What are the things that you have to see? And all the instructions you must first educate your staff, because you know the procedure, but you have to educate your staff, because they are really assisting you. You have to get all the surplus copy that is you have to need. Suppose this year you have to do the IRAC norms, that is income recognition asset classification. There is one circular date 1/4/2022. That is the master circular 1/4 22 is the master circular. And that circular you have to carry. Before going to the audit, you have to read that circular 142. That I will deal later. And also there is one circular dated 12/11/21. That is also very much important. That both the circulars have been issued by Reserve Bank of India. Every circular we will, I will definitely deal in a separate part of the presentation. So you have to take all the circulars copy. This circular copy, suppose if you find time, you go to the bank, get the charges circular. Get the charges circular and the delegated power circular. Every circular you have to take this in. So this Hemant sir, this master circular is in the RBI side. That definitely I'll share to every member. That has contained 77 pages. That has contained 77 pages. This circular is available in the RBI side. That is the circular, the master circular dated 1/4/2022. And next point is you have to allot the audit area of the verification. That means when you are going to verify cash, who has to verify the cash? When you are going to verify the jewels, who has to verify the jewels, and who has to verify the advances, and particularly who has to verify the agriculture advances, who has to verify the IRAP norms, who has to prepare the all the forms, everything that you have to allot. So you have to allot the area of audit to your staff. And before allotting the audit, the point that you have to remember is you have to educate them. You have to educate them. Generally, they will be in a position to verify the audit correctly. Next one is add refresher courses and attend refresher audit seminars. Now, almost all the branches, they are organizing the refresher course and audit seminars. Please attend to it. So whatever be the subject, whether you need not attend only in the year end. Even you can attend at the beginning of the session, beginning of the year also, because a lot of branches, they are conducting refresher courses or audit seminars for the concurrent audit, revenue audit, stock audit, and everything. So you have to attend refresher courses. This is before the leaving your office, you have to take this step. But this is a very, very simple thing, but this is definitely, this will, boost your image. Don't forget to take these following items before you are going to the audit, because everything that you have to take from the office. One is white sheets for working papers or notebooks. Most of the auditors, what they do, they go to the branch, sir, I need white sheets. So not be the case, because you have got even one thing I want to share to you. All the out-of-pocket expenses can be reimbursed by the bankers. Suppose if you buy any stationaries from the company, you have to produce the bills to them. Suppose if you buy some A4 bundles or notebooks or anything, any stationaries, that will be reimbursed by the bank. At this point, you have to bear in mind. So white sheets for the working papers, you must take, because normally we omit what we presume. We'll go to the bank and take it. Don't do it. Don't get anything. Don't get any information from any item from the bank. Next item is calculator for each staff. See, this is a very, very important thing, because you are going for the bank audit. You are going to, you are going to the, all items, but here you have to provide a calculator. Suppose if you are going with 4 staff, you have to take 5 calculators. When you go and ask the calculator from the branch, definitely you will not find, because they say that we have got only 1 staff. Somebody say that we work everything in this system. So you have to take the calculator for each staff. Next one is take tag, eraser, scale, pencil, stapler, stamp pad, gum. It's all preparatory works. So before going to the audit, all these items you have to take tag, eraser, scale, pencil, stapler, stamp pad, gum. Then have file for each and every work. Suppose we are going with 4 staff, everybody should have file. You should have some bag too, because everything that you have to put inside the bag, carry the bag. And water bottle, this is a very, very important thing. So water is available, Bisleri water or any water is available. You have to carry the water bottle, because don't go and get the water bottle. Don't go and ask for the water bottle. One thing, because you are on the tour, your health is very much important. So you must have water bottle, because sometimes if you are going for any rural branch, you will not be getting the water. Pure water you will not be getting. Sometimes it may affect your health. So you must carry a water bottle. And next one is food items. So normally even whenever you are going for audit, the manager say that, sir, we'll take you to the hotel. Okay, sometimes if it is possible, you go, but you don't forget to take the food items. Suppose if you got some health issues, you pack your own foods. And the food also, due to some oil mixture, you will definitely get some stomach upset, because I've got lot of problems for this. That is why I say that you have to carry the food items. Suppose if you want to have a morning breakfast, you have to pack. And even if the lunch also, if it is not available, in particularly when you go to a remote rural branches, you will not get food items. So try to pack the food items. Next one is, don't forget to take your full address, initial address, and membership seal. And now it is digital seal or digital signature also. Now everything has to be digitally signed. You have to take full address, initial address, membership seal, and the digital sign. These things you must carry, because suppose if you are going to a rural branch, or suppose the branch is away something around 40-45 kilometers, you cannot come to the branch and take your digital sign. You must pack everything intact. Have your cell phone and cell charger. Normally everybody is having a cell phone, but we will definitely forget to take the cell phone chargers, because these items also you have to carry. Next item is towel. Why I have taken towel? Say in a metro area or urban area, the branch is being it's provided with AC, that is air conditioner. And when you go to remote rural, it will not be there. So you are sweating, and for that you have to carry the towel. So towel will definitely be useful to you. And next one is route map and get the transport facility. Suppose if you have got the appointment letter, first you have to see where the branch is located. In my area, I've got a appointment from Puduchetharam. There is one area called Puduchetharam. I'm at Salem. And when I asked about the Puduchetharam, there are two Puduchetharams. Puduchetharam, that's a place of audit. There are two things. One is near Namakkal, one is at Chidambaram. Then only I realized that I have got the audit at Chidambaram area. So you have to first identify the location where the branch actually it is. Suppose if you are going by car, it is okay. If you are going by car, it is okay. And in case if it is being, one second, sir. If you are going by car, it is okay. But if you are going by bus, then you have to take the route. Actually, you have to take the route, and when the bus is available, sometimes they say that the last bus will be around 5:30 in the evening. So you have to get the transfer schedule also. Take your reserved train ticket. Take your reserved train ticket. Suppose if you are going by train, don't forget to take the reserved train ticket. And apart from that, you have to carry the ID card. If you are going by flight, normally you will not be allowed inside the airport unless until you produce the original ID card. It is not Xerox copy of the ID card. Suppose you are going to any, suppose if you are traveling from Bangalore to some Mangalore, you have to carry the original ID card, and you have to take the hard copy of the printer. Sometimes the mobile schedule can some guard they accept the mobile message. Somebody they are objecting to it. So take the hard copy of the ticket, air ticket or train ticket, and also the ID card. That is also another very important thing. Get the branch contact number, that is landline and mobile number. Don't forget to hand over this number to your family, because sometimes your phone may be out of reach. So you have to first get the branch contact number and hand over the landline and mobile number. Take cash, credit card and debit card. So that is very, very important, because you are going to the branch and you are not supposed to take any advance from the branch. You have to spend from your packet. Then only you will get the the bank. So you have to take sufficient cash and credit card and debit card. And get boarding and lodging facilities. Sir, whenever I come to the branch, where to stay, And is there any where to take my food and everything? Don't hesitate to ask. You ask, sir, which hotel is best? So you can ask. So boarding and lodging facilities that you must know, because the stay will also be reimbursed. And you see that you are comfortably staying, because don't go to very small hotel. And if it is a some decent hotel is there, please go there and don't hesitate to spend. Even one of my friend at Salem, he used to say that, sir, Ravindran sir, I am getting around 4 lakhs. I can go by car. I can stay at a very good hotel. I can forego some amount, because that will be adjusted in my P&L account. And the bankers, they will reimburse. If they don't reimburse, also don't. I will not bother. So this is the mentality of few chartered accountants. So get boarding and lodging facilities, and particularly one friend has come from Delhi to Salem for the audit, and he approached me. I asked him, sir, which type of hotel you want? He said, I want to stay in a star hotel. So I want to stay in a star hotel because I never bother about the money. So first thing, you must have the all the information of the boarding and lodging details. Next one is medical kit. Take the medical kit. Because if you are a diabetic person, you have to carry all your diabetic medicines. And because you are going to a rural branch, you will not be getting the tablets or something. So you should carry all your basic medical items. And sometimes your stomach, you will get some stomach upset. And sometimes few of your staff, they may have some fever and everything. So everything should be there in the medical kit. So you have to get a generalized list from the your doctor, so that suppose in case of fever and headache, you can have Dolo 650. If you have got a stomach pain, even cyclopam tablets. In case if you got loose motion, you can take L-Dopa or Andiol. So anything that you can have, then some Vicks thing, because now plus in this you have to include the mask also. Now there's a spread of COVID once again. So you have to carry the mask. You have to buy a very big mask, mask box and hand over to the staff. So medical kit carrying is very, very important. And next, the important thing is, suppose if you are going to take any surprise audit, don't inform the branch that you are coming to the branch in advance. Suppose if you are going on routine thing, okay. And suppose we want to verify the cash in advance, so don't inform the branch that you are coming. But anyhow, branch managers, they will follow you. But initially, they say that don't inform. But nowadays, bankers, they will not leave you. They will follow you. And now this is another very important thing. This will be useful not only you, your staff also, because now you have entered into the branch. What is the behavior that you are going to have during the audit? Yes, you have to keep quiet and calm. You should be, there is no emotion is required, because you are there to do the audit. See, most of the thing, bankers, a few bankers, they will definitely ask irrelevant questions. Some bankers, they irritate you also. Don't go into any emotion. There you are going to the audit and you have to do the audit. So you have to be, no non-emotional. So you have to be, you should not show your emotion, and you have to keep quiet and calm. See, whatever, see, you have got very good knowledge, but don't show your knowledge, because you have to keep quiet and calm. So it's slowly what they say you have to hear, and you have to behave like that. Then one is ignore, then only that is you have to ignore your ego. Suppose even sometimes they say that, sir, you don't know this. Certainly don't go out of order and say that, no, how dare you say that I have got, I don't know this. Then don't argue with the manager. So even if they irritate you, don't worry at all. Ignore where you go and proceed for the audit, because the ultimate aim is we have to complete the audit and we have to maintain the professional image. So because we have got a lot of professional images to be maintained during the audit, so you have to maintain it. And whenever you are going for audit, you have to go with the full details. You have to go with the full details. Don't go with half details. And so without knowing anything, don't go and ask anything. If you are going for the audit, you have to go with full details and the behavior. Suppose if you go to the bank manager, sir, kindly can you come and educate me? Then that means the banker definitely will take you advantage. You don't know anything about the bank audit. So whenever you are going for the audit, you have to go with full details. That is Very, very important. Next one is you must know all the information. Say that is one column, whether the system records are correct or not. That is a column there in the LFAR. So then they say that whether the branch has followed the Banking Regulation Act. So unless until you know all the rules, you will not be in a position to do the audit. So you must try to know all the rules politely. You have to talk politely. So don't talk in a commanding manner. You have to talk politely, because if you go slowly and if you talk very politely, definitely you'll get a lot of information and time management. Suppose if you are saying that, sir, I'll be there at the branch by 7 o'clock, means you should be there at 7 o'clock. So time management is very, very important. And next one is communication. You have to communicate properly. So what details you want, what details they have to provide, everything should be properly communicated. And you have to avoid excuses. See, one of the cases where I've gone for audit, one friend has said that, sir, the branch man, I've seen the documentation, but suddenly that staff of the branch, he has brought some coffee and he has put, coffee on my table. Suddenly it's spelt. It's split. So that means the documents have been destroyed. That is, all the coffee has been poured on the documents. So sorry, sir. It is not my mistake. So it is a mistake of your staff. This behavior you should not do it. So avoid all types of excuses. Areas you have to talk less. So you have to talk very less, because when you talk very less, you will get a lot of input from the manager. If you talk, so if you ask one question, you have to allow the managers to share his views or share his answer. Between that, if you enter, then the answer or the information will go in wrong direction. So you have to wait. And particularly if you're a chartered accountant and if you're a staff, and if you got any doubt, don't consult the manager. You have to consult your seniors. Suppose if you got any doubt, you have to consult your seniors, friends, and partners, and not the branch manager. And you have to talk confidently. Suppose if you are very confident about all the rules and regulations, you have to talk confidently. So don't talk off a manner. So without knowing the things, so an hesitation manner, don't talk it. Talk to the manager. You have to talk confidentially, and you have to be comfort. So you have to be comfort at the branch. When you want to sit, you have to sit in a proper chair. Sometimes when you go to the branch, rural branches, there will not be sufficient space. They provide you your audit work and they allot you the dining table. So that will also be there. So you have to be very, very comfortable. You have to ask, suppose if you want any chair also, you can ask the very good chair, because that if you are very comfortable at the time of audit, then definitely that will be useful to you. Next thing is you have to dress properly, and you have to avoid bad habits. Don't smoke, don't put some chewing gum during the audit or not. This type of bad habits should be avoided. You have to you give respect, and you have to give respect to the manager. So if suppose we are entering into the branch cabin, so you have to ask, sir, may I come in? Don't hesitate to ask. You have to give respect to the manager. And you should also be a good listener. Suppose if the manager says any information, if staff says any information, you should be a good listener. Only you'll be in a position to take the information correctly. So that will definitely help you during the audit. Next one is avoid complaints. Sir, this officer is not cooperating. He is always teasing me. He is always scolding me. Don't do any complaint against anyone with the branch. And don't make any complaint. Sometimes few auditors, what they do, they make a complaint to the regional office that the manager is misbehaving with me. You have to avoid complaints. Next one is in relaxed manner, you have to do the audit and no tension at all. You have to do it in a relaxed manner and no tension at all. Next one is be smart, but don't show your smartness. This one, yesterday also I had discussion with my friend. Say, you may be very intelligent, but on the other end, he is not intelligent. So whenever you say anything, they will definitely mock at you. So you have to be smart, but don't show your smartness, because others are not smart. This will definitely help you to do the audit in a right direction. And no cell phone during the audit. So if you have to avoid the cell phone, during the audit, because that will definitely, if you have got any cell phone talk, then definitely that will divert your mind. So don't show your ignorance of knowledge by asking silly questions. No anything, sir, how to verify the basic. Sir, how the where the jewels have been how you are valuing the jewels. These are the basic things. So don't show your ignorance by asking the silly questions. So that means that the yes must educate the staff. And before you leave the branch, now you have completed the audit. Now you want to go to the branch. What are the things, what are the items that you have to take care? That is, pack your materials only. So whenever you pack the materials, is you have to pack all your tag, eraser, calculator, and everything. And you are not supposed to pack the branch manager's items, bank's items. And you have to take all the working papers carefully, because a working paper is the base based on which you have, and there is any complaint in future, then you have to produce all the working papers. Say thanks to all the staff members. You have completed the audit. Though you are there for some 2 to 3 days, you must say thanks to the thanks to all the staff members. Thank you very much, sir. I completed the audit, and thanks for your cooperation. So okay, definitely they will be happy. And future you may go to this branch. So here I will share one experience for them. So I have normally I will be very close to the staff, and when I left the branch, I said thanks to them. Then after 3 years, that staff, after he has become the manager, and he has come to my area. So on hearing, on seeing, or on hearing that he has come to my Salem branch as manager, I went to him and he gave me full respect. So today he may be a clerk, tomorrow he may be the branch manager. So say thanks to all those members and prepare the report. Preparation of the report is very, very important. You have to prepare everything at the branch. Only after preparation of the report, you have to leave the branch. Then, because after you reach the branch, if you have got any doubt, you will not be in a position to go to the branch. So you have to prepare everything. And don't ask for any tour arrangement. Sir, I want to go for any tour. Is there any nearby tourist spot? Can you arrange for the tour? Don't ask for it. And if at all you want to go, you go at your own cost. Don't ask the manager to provide the tool, and don't accept or ask for any gift. Sometimes the staff, not CS, they won't ask these. Your staff or article, what they do, sir, you got a very good keychain. Can you give me a keychain? Sir, you got a diary. Can you provide it? Don't ask those things. And attendance details. So in the audit, attendance is very, very important. When you have joined, when you have attended, when you have gone to the branch, what is, how many persons, and whether it's a staff or paid staff or students or paid member, all the attendance details you have to provide, because whenever you submit the report, you have to give the attendance, and these attendance details nowadays is being given by the manager, because you have to climb the bill by way of providing all these details. This attendance will be it has to be certified by the manager. So before you leave the branch, you have to get a specific certificate from the branch manager. Sir, these persons we have visited. We have visited on such and such date. We have stayed here, and now we are leaving it. And with the designation, you have to get a certificate from the manager. Don't forget to ask this attendance details from the manager. And normally, whenever you enter into the branch, or your staff enter into the branch, they will ask the time of completion of audit, So when you are going to complete the audit, just now you enter into the branch, they will definitely ask, so when are you going to complete the audit? Don't give any information about it. So I don't know. We will start the audit, then only we will be in a position to say what is the time of completion audit. Then you will say that, sir, I have to go on tour. I have arranged some LTC, leave travel. I have to go along with my family. Please complete the audit within 2 days or 3 days. Then you can say that, sir, that is your headache. That is not our headache. So time of completion audit, definitely they ask, don't give any information for it. And behavior of you and your staff. So suppose if a staff, your staff goes to the branch first, the manager, they will ask your staff, sir, what about your auditor? Whether he will have vegetarian food or non-vegetarian food, whether he will have some hot drinks or not. So everything they will have. He's a hungry person, whether he is a cooperative person, everything they will ask. So don't give any information about this to the branch officials. And even they say that the staff, about the behavior of the staff also they ask. And food habits and entertainment. Sir, do you want coffee or tea or anything? So they will ask. So don't you say that, sir, I will take care of the food. And entertainment, sir, can we go to this temple, that temple? They will ask. So first thing you must complete the audit. And don't give scope for the area of commencement. They'll ask which area you want to start first, whether you are going to start with cash verification or jewel verification, they will ask. So which area you want to commence first, that for that you have to get a very big audit program based on which you have to commence the audit. Next one is he will give the direction to you. Sir, first you do one thing, to just see the jewel sir. Then you go to advanced area. In that advanced area, you first see these 10 accounts, this and that. So they will definitely try to give the direction to do the audit. Then you hear and you start your own. Don't allow them to direct you during the audit. And commencement of the audit, ask the branch manager to depute. So this is a way in which I am doing it. So I ask only one person, sir, please provide one officer to help me during the audit, because whenever I need any details, I will ask only to him and not to anyone. So that saves a lot of time. And sometimes he will give a lot of information to you, but ask them to depute them till the completion of the audit. All the statements which are subject to be audited by all the statements which are subject to be verified by the auditors. So normally what bankers they do, they provide the information bit by bit. Every say first they provide P&L account, then they provide balance sheet, then they provide schedules. So on piecemeal basis they used to submit these statements, but I have to ask all the statements in are subject to verification. Okay, those statements as per the auditor's instruction. Suppose if you are going to the audit senior's direction, you have to verify only those statements, and I want to verify as per the auditor's statement. In case the auditor himself is going, you have to verify all the all the statements as per the program, as per the audit program. You have to verify. What are the areas of verification? First thing, you have to verify the cash. You have to normally, whenever you are going for the audit, you have to verify the areas of verification. Cash, then jewel loan, all jewel loans. Normally we start with cash and jewel loan, then securities verification and advances area, deposits area, you have to verify LFAR, you have to prepare the long form audit report, then tax audit reports, then what are the certificates to be signed? All those certificates, normally don't sign all those certificates blindly. You have to verify all those certificates. So because if there is any mistake in the certificate, then you are answerable to everyone. So certificates have to be signed. Get the reports. So before starting the audit, you have to first get the following reports. One is internal audit report, concurrent audit report, RBI inspection report, last year's statutory audit report, last year report, last year revenue audit report, everything that you have to ask. So before commencement, you have to ask. Otherwise, even you can inform the manager, sir, I want the following reports that can be ready with those details, because I want to go through those reports. Then only I have to come to any. If there is any fraud reported during the inspection, then that fraud must be known to you, because you have to report in LFAR, is there any fraud and what are the latest position, everything that you have to report in the LFAR. So you have to ask those reports and read the above reports. If there is any adverse comments reported, the same thing you have to give in your report. This is a very, very important thing. You have to ask for the reports, and if there is any negative things reported in the reports, that you have to report the same thing in the reports. In your audit report, you have to comment, you have to do it. Now, just wait. I'm going for the checklist of audit program. Sir, is this slide visible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, sir.
Okay. No, thing is, whether it's slide down. So this is a audit program, thing that has been recommended by our insured. This matter I have taken from the our insured side, that is insured's guidance note. That is the engagement letter to the appointment authority you have to hand over, and a letter for no objection to the previous auditor. So this is also another important thing. So before going to the audit, you have to ask for the letter of engagement. That is, you have to get the no objection from the previous auditor. You have to write to the last year auditor. Normally, only few auditors they are following it. Most of the auditors they are not following it. But anyhow, as per our insured guidelines, you have to write to our previous auditor to get the no objection letter. And meeting and discussion with the branch management and understanding the profile of the branch and its business. So whenever you are entering the branch, you have to ask. So is what is the total advance of the branch? What are the breakups? What is the funded advance? What is the non-funded advance? How many staff are here? Who is taking care of the loan sanction? Everything that you have to have discussion. And suppose you have to give the letter of requirement to the auditor, letter of requirement to the manager. Sir, I want to verify the cash. Kindly provide the following records for my cash verification. I want to verify the advance. Only few auditors follow the point number 4. That is letter of requirement. What you actually require from the branch that you have to give. And you have to take point number 5, review of previous auditors report. You have to go through this. We already discussed current year's internal audit report, concurrent audit report, revenue audit report, RBI inspection report, and the inspection report. Then compliance of the branch to all whether the compliance has been done to the reports. For that also you have to verify, because in the LFAR there is one column whether the branch has followed the compliance or not. So that also you have to verify. That also you have to confirm it. Then 1 second. Next one is physical verification of cash, gold, and valuable securities that I will going to dealt in detail in the other part of the area. And shortage of cash, there you have to ask for the cash excess stock register. At the time of verification, if you find any cash shortage, that has to be reported. And in case if there is any difference in gold, for physical, at the time of physical verification of gold, if there is any shortage of packet, that also you have to report. And these details we will, I'll cover in detail. And reconciliation of the current account maintained with other banks, Reserve Bank of India, reconciliation of no-show account with no-show mirror account, physical verification of investment. Sometimes the branch would have invested in somewhere. For that, you have to verify all the deposit receipts. Everything I'm going to dealt in detail in my presentation. And if, computer-based environment branch, then you have to verify the control, then verify the exception report, understand and editable and uneditable fields of the bank, system of downgrading and upgrading of accounts, interest calculation, generation reports. So it is an audit-based, computerized audit-based, computerized-based branch. You have to do this audit. Then compliance of instruction issued by the bank supplier. Suppose the head office they issue that you have to comply this before completing the year end, and before completing the quarter end, you have to submit all these details, whether the branch has followed those circulars or not. That also you have to verify. But the concurrent audit it is possible, but in statute audit you have to do some test check. And if you are because you are answerable only to those test check items, if you have failed to see any items that you are test checked, then you are responsible. So you have to take the everything what you have verified in a note. A list of various closing returns to be verified and certified, because this is sign in and check the balance advance. You have to check the advance. All this I'm going to deal in detail in other areas. Don't worry at all. And I'm just if there's anything important, then I'll do it. So you have to verify the non-performing asset. You have to verify. You have to give details about the documentation and verify about the cash check, that is cash control check, and verify the
Sir, sorry to trouble you. Sudhir sir,
Okay.
kindly mute it, sir. I think you're unmute.
Okay.
Sudhir sir is unmute.
Okay. Is it muted? I think, okay, I have muted everyone. And checking of depreciation, all fixed assets verification, then deposits area you have to verify. So yeah, all these things I am going to deal individually and cover it. And this is the checklist that our institute has given. So this is based on this only I am going to do the presentation. I almost taken all the points in my presentation. Whatever be your doubt, you can ask. So I'm going to the next part of the slide is so far we have seen the audit program. So this audit planning, the institute has given the guidelines based on which you have to do the audit. To this, I am going to deal individually. And so far, I have covered only the items that which you have to take before going to the audit, before then during the audit and after the audit. What are the important things that you have to see that just that is only I have touched. Please share the checklist also. Yeah, Badish sir, that is there in the list. That this list I will forward to your mail ID. Don't worry at all. This the checklist I will forward. So this is only guidance. That is only guidance issued by our institute. I'll definitely share that portion to you. Badish. I think Badish is from Udupi. Then 2 days before I went to Udupi, then I met him in person. And he's a very active youngster. And regarding documentation, what are the items? This is a very, very important area. This is a very, very important area. Before, that is during the audit, what you have to see. Documentation. What are the important items that you have to see documentation? This type of information you will not get anywhere. I can also. This is a very, very important area. Thing is, what is a document? First, we have to know. It is a written document. It is a written document. It has to be written in letters and words. It's a document which you have to write, and it has to be written in letters and words, and it is recorded as evidence because this document is a recorded evidence, and this has to be produced before court of law. This has to be produced before court of law. It's a recorded thing, and it is an evidence before court of law. So that is why the bankers and you must be very, very careful at the time of verification of document. If there is any mistake in the document, you cannot file this based on this document. You cannot file any case before court of law. Next one is it is a contract, evidence as a contract. It is a recorded evidence as a contract. The contract between the customers and banks. The manager they has sanctioned the loan, then he has to enter into a contract. So this contract is evidenced by the this contract is being evidenced in the form of a document. So it's a contract between the bankers and customers. It is legally capable. What is legally capable? So managers he can execute. Players can also execute. In case if there is any minor is there in the contract, it cannot evidence it. So all the contracting party should be a legally capacitated person. He has to execute the document. So this document should be legally capable. And application is the starting point. That is, the bankers they say that the document where it starts. In that application, the borrower say that I want to get a loan. I want to get a loan. I need the loan for this purpose. They say that the application itself is a document. So sometimes a few advocates during the they ask, why, sir, kindly produce the application submitted by the borrower. Even I can vouch in few banks, they even without receiving the application, managers they are sanctioning the loan. So application is a starting point. If the advocate has sought any information about the application, in some cases, in the application the party wanted only 20 lakhs, but the manager has sanctioned 25 lakhs. So that is also possible. So in case if the application is 20 lakhs, if the loan has been sanctioned to the loan of 18 lakhs, okay. It is okay. But if you apply only for 20 lakhs, the managers they sanction 25 lakhs, it's a contrary point. So application is the starting point. Even I can say that application is a document. So whenever you are going for audit, you have to verify the application also. And it is applicable for both advances and custom. It is applicable for all types of advances. It is applicable for all types of advances, and bankers must know the legal position. So you must also know the legal position, but about the document, bankers, he must also know the legal position of the document. It's a contract. So CAD has to be taken at the time of lending. So the managers, before lending the loan, he has to complete all the documents. All the documents he has to complete. So CAD has to be taken by the time of lending. Next one is, why do we need documents? Why we have to verify the documents? Why the bankers, they need the document? Why we have to concentrate on the documentation? It's a creation of charge. Document is a creation of charge. So only when the party executed document, then only charge is being created in favor of the bank. Next one is, it is legally enforceable before court of law. These documents, if it is duly filled, duly signed, duly executed, then if anything goes wrong, it can be legally enforceable before court of law. Then it's a right to money, it's a right to money suit by the bankers. So the document in bankers, it's a money suit. It's a money suit because only money is being dealt as the commodity. So when the bankers, they want to file the case before court of law, they must have proper documents. So it's a money suit is possible because they have got very good documents. And what is the importance? It identifies the document, it identifies the borrower, guarantor, securities, and amount of loan. These are four things that you have to be very, very careful. The document must contain the name of the borrower and his address, guarantor's name and address, what is the security, whether it's a primary security or collateral security, what is the quantum of the loan, is it 10 lakhs, this amount has to be written both in words and figures. So by looking into the document, you can easily identify the borrower, guarantor, securities, and amount of the loan. Next one is, it is a written evidence and it should not be disputed in future. It is oral. You can say that managers they have not asked me anything, but it is written evidence. Suppose it's a document signed by the borrower cannot go beyond this. So it's a written evidence which is not supposed to be disputed at the court. It's a documentary evidence before court of law. So anything that the bankers, they want to file a case before court of law, they must produce this document. Even sometimes these documents should not be demand promissory note is time bound for within a period of 3 years. This DPN will become time bound. After that, the branch manager, they have to get the fresh document. So few bankers, they are due to some laziness or due to some time constraint, they will not be in a position to get the renewal of the DPN. So as an auditor, you must see whether all the documents are not time bound. And it's a recording of events. Today, I have got an amount of this by way of mortgaging this property. It's a recording of events. Document is a recording of evidence. And incorporating protective classes. Normally, it protects the borrower. It protects the banker. So everything will be incorporated. That's why when you go and read the loan documents, you can see a lot of conditions. So we will not divert the funds. If at all we want to change the business, we will inform you. If you want to change the place of business, also we will inform you. Everything will be there in the documents. So it's a protective classes are there for both the borrowers and as well as the bankers. It's a money suit. So the document, you can use it only for the money suit. And decides period of limitation because a document has to be written today. So one question I want to ask you, whether the document has to be executed on the date of sanction or on the date of disbursement or on the date of availment or any date other than the that is after the sanction date or before the sanction date, which date we have to fix it. This is a question I want to ask you, whether the documents, what date that you have to put it on the documents. Is it date of sanction or date of availment or date of disbursement? Whether the document after the after the sanction or before the sanction?
After the sanction.
You can unmute yourself and you can tell some.
After the sanction.
After?
After the sanction only.
After the sanction letter, you have to do it. That's very good point. But few banks, they have executed the document before the sanction also. So during the audit, you have to verify whether the same thing is being done before the sanction or after the sanction. That's a very important thing because the period of limitation starts from the date that you have mentioned in the documentation, the documents. So it decides the period of limitation. And what is the importance of documentation? It's that is, you must take care that the branch manager has taken the document in the proper formats. There is a circular for this. For suppose if it is a CC loan, what are the documents in which form they have to get? There's a circular. You have to ask for the circular. Whether the branch manager has obtained all the forms in the proper format as prescribed by the head office, you don't know. So that's a circular for it. You have to ask for the circular. Then you have to verify whether all those documents have been taken properly in the proper format. And whether the stamping, that means you are the manager branch has to affix the stamp on the one is revenue stock, second one is adhesive stamps. Adhesive stamps they have to fix on the top of the document and it has to be sealed and it has to be signed by the branch manager. That means it is an indirect way of telling that is you have to cancel the adhesive stamps that has been affixed on the and some in case revenue stamp also you have to use it when you are preparing the DPN, demand promise note. Demand promise note, you have to affix the revenue stamp. So two types of stamps they are using it. One is revenue stamp and next one is adhesive stamp. There should be some proper stamping on it. And with reference to revenue stamp, I'll tell the manager, they have to get the signature. That is, branch has to get the signature on the revenue stamp. And below the revenue stamp in the blank column, they have to sign. That is, the borrower has to sign. And you have to see whether the signature, that is, the partners have signed the document, whether all the partners have signed the documents or only one partner has signed the document. So everything you have to see. Suppose in case of partnership firm, all the partners, they have to sign the document. In case, if all the partners, they are given the, authorization to one partner, then he has to, it is sufficient that he can sign the document. But with reference to bank, with reference to documentation to be signed by the partners, bankers, they insist all the partners to come and sign the document. So this is the important thing that you have to see. Next one is it has to be properly filled. There should not be any column left blank. So you have to see whether all the documents have been properly filled or not. Then you have to sign and execution. So the document should be signed and executed in front of the branch officials. That's a column. Who has signed, who has come and signed on which date, who has signed in whose presence, that will also be there in the documents. Next one is checking and vetting of documents. After everything is being executed, then it has to be checked by the bank's advocate. He has to give you a specific report that this has been checked and I found that all the documents are in order. So that's a specific certificate that you have to ask. So whether the documents have been vetted by the advocate. And now this work is being given now to the charter accounts also. Few bankers, they have already started to give this work to the charter accountant also. It's also another professional opportunity available to the members. So this vetting of work, you can also undertake. And for this, you have to ask by a separate letter whether these documents have been vetted or not. If it is not vetted, then you have to give that point in your LFAR. And recording, it's a recording of all transactions. It's a recording of all transactions. The documents have to be registered before whom? Sometimes they may register in the form of equitable mortgage. And few states, they say that these documents have to be registered before the sub-registrar of the concerned state. And few banks, they have not accepted this. Few states, I said it's a few states, has got the concept of memorandum of deposit of title deeds and not, it is not available in all states. Few states, they waive the condition of MODT, but they say that the documents have to be registered and executed in front of the notary public also. So the registration of documents, it's the right of the state government under the Stamp Act. So it has to be registered. Next item is collection of document charges. So when you execute any document, that has to be for that the branch, they have to collect the charges. For that they have to collect the charges. So document charges is very, very important. For this, you have to verify the charges register. Manish, it's next one is safekeeping. It's a safekeeping. The documents must be kept under the dual control. So this is another important point. It's also one of the audit objection. When you go and verify the documents, you can see that all those documents are kept in the open space. When any substaff can also go and touch the documents. So it's a very, very important thing that you must keep all the documents in safe custody. You must keep all the documents in safe custody. So this is also one of the audit objections. So when I went to one of the nationalized banks, I found that the documents have been arranged and kept on the open and on the above the table they are arranged. So even a customer can go and touch the documents. So the very, very important thing is the documents have to be kept under the joint custody. Next one is you have to see that keep the document alive. What is meant by keep the document alive? That means the document should be legally enforceable before court of law. There should not be any. I will tell one thing, DPN, demand promise note, is valid for a period of 3 years from the date that is mentioned in the document. So before the end of the 3 years, the manager, they have to receive another DPN, which is called as revival letter or acknowledgement of date. You have to keep the document alive because one member just now said I will join late, and you have to see that all the documents are alive. This is also very, very important thing. So one thing is DPN you must first get, then once in every 3 years you have to get acknowledgement of letter or revival letters. And with reference to term loan, there is only one document. And with reference to CC, whenever they are going for the renewal, they will get the fresh cash credit documents. This point you have to see. With reference to term loan, you will get only once. But whenever there is a renewal of cash credit loan, because every renewal has to be treated as a new sanction. So for each and every new sanction, they have to get the renewal document. So it should be that you please check that point. So then only those documents are alive. Next point is what is the document preparation? You have to obtain full set of documents. From where we will get it? That's a circular in the bank. You will get all those documents. You will get all those documents. See whether the branch has obtained all those documents or not. It has to be properly filled. One thing I have noticed that first para, it has been written by one clerk. Second para, it's written by some other clerk. So you have to see whether all those documents have been executed properly by the same official. That is a very, very important thing, whether those documents have been executed by the same party or not. Next thing is there should not be any blank documents. There should not be any blank documents. Sometimes the manager, without filling the form, they used to receive the signature and they kept the same thing in the file. But they will not fill it at the time when they release the loan. Suppose if you are going to the audit and we found that no documents have been properly filled, or if there are some blank documents, even some managers, they receive the DPN also in advance. So those mistakes that you have to point out. So no blank documents should be there. Then it has to be seen that they have to fill the schedule of the properties properly. See, in the mortgage, you can find primary security and collateral security. Managers, they have to fill the primary security or collateral security correctly. So this is a very, very important thing. So this point also you have to see whether there is a proper declaration of filling of schedules of securities. Then it has to be signed by the borrower and guarantor personally. This is a very, very important area. Borrower has to come to the branch. He has to sign the documents in the presence of the manager as well as the guarantor. Few managers, what they do, they prepare all the documents and they send the same thing to the officer of that is clerk of the borrower, and get it signed from the office. That should not be the case. Whoever be the big person, they have to come to the branch, and it has to be signed only in the presence of the manager. Because one thing you have to remember, now everything is being recorded. So he has to come to the manager cabin. Even manager cabin is also covered by CCTV. So the execution has to be taken as the witness, because everything is being recorded and the execution has to be done in the presence of the manager. So this point you have to verify. It has to be verified by the concurrent auditor, but in statutory auditor it is not possible. But you have to see that all the documents have to be signed by the borrower or guarantor personally. What personally? I'll tell one thing. See, in one of the cases where I found there are some three partners. There are some three partners. Two partners have come to the branch and they say they have signed the document today. And the borrower, they want the money immediately. But the third borrower, he was there. He was not in the station. He is in America. He said over the phone, sir, you release the document and you release the loan, and I will come and execute the document. So as on the date of signing, the borrower, he was there at USA. So that means later on he came to the branch and he executed the document. So if that is the case, he has not signed the document in person, though he came after say 7 days or 8 days, though he has executed the document. So as on the date of signing, he was not there in India. So this point also you have to see. So this is a very, very important area. Suppose in case if anything goes wrong, they have to file the case before court of law, and the auditor, when the advocates, definitely they will take shelter for this. What are the essentials of documentation? Essentials of the documentation is you have to write the correct name. So I'll tell one thing. If my name is Vadivel Ravindran, you have to write Vadivel Ravindran only and not V Ravindran. So I have to put V Ravindran. That's my signature. You have to write the correct name. You have to write the correct name. Next point is proper drafting is required. So it must be properly drafted. So it should not be illegible manner. They are not supposed to fill the document. It should be properly drafted. Next point is it has to be stamped. In case of DPN, revenue stamp should be affixed, and in case of other loan documents, adhesive stamps have to be fixed, and the manager has to affix the signature. He has to cancel it. With reference to DPN, it has to be cancelled only by the borrower. Security writing. So security writing means sometimes they have affixed the sellotape on the loan amount so that they cannot be changed. After writing, they affix the sellotape on it. That's a kind of security writing is there. Then consideration amount. The amount should be clearly mentioned. That is, if the loan amount is say 1 crore, sometimes they written as 10 crores. Sometimes they written as 10 lakhs because they would have omitted 1 0. So don't hesitate. You have to use pen and you have to just count the zeros. whether it is 10 lakhs or 1 crore, I can vouch almost in 80% it is okay. 20% you will definitely get the mistake. So there should not be any difference between the loan amount sanctioned and loan amount written on the document. So the consideration amount is very, very important. One is terms of sanction. In that, you have to clearly mention whether it's what are the terms and conditions based on which they are sanctioning the loan. That has to be, that's a prescribed format is there at the bank. In that, they have to mention all the terms of sanction. If there is any other terms, that has also to be written on the documentation. Place and date. This is a very, very important. Suppose if the borrower is at New Delhi, and I already said the documents have to be executed before the manager personally. If the borrower is at Delhi, he has to come to, say, Hyderabad, then only he has to sign. If the loan is there at Hyderabad, he has to come to Hyderabad, then only he has to sign. And the date of execution is very, very important. You have to see that the DPN date, what is the date of signature? That must tally. If the DPN date is, say, 5th of April, it has to be signed on the same date of 5th of April and not on any other date. So this point you have to see. So place and date must be properly filled. If it is not filled, then you have to report it. And it must be registered because whenever any loan is being given, the bankers, they have to register same thing before the registrar. So there are two types of registration. One is equitable mortgage registration, which is being done at the branch level itself. And in case if it is a registered document, loan registration, mortgage registration, you have to go to the registrar office, then only that you have to register. So MODT registration is there, then equitable mortgage registration is there. Then only you will be in a position to file the case before court of law. In Tamil Nadu, I want to tell one thing, a document has to be registered before the sub-registrar. As a memorandum of deposit of 90 days. After the bankers, they lend the money, within 30 days, they have to go and register the same thing before the registrar. Otherwise, if there is if anything goes wrong, then you will not be in a position to file the case before court of law. So within 30 days, they have to create the MODT. So if you are going for the audit, you have to ask whether MODT for the property has been created or not. That is also another audit point. So the documents have to be registered. And it should be valid and legally enforceable. Your document is valid provided it has to be executed as on the date of sanction or after the date of sanction or not before the date. It has to be legally enforceable. All the borrowers, they have to come and execute the document, then only it is legally enforceable. And what are the cash to be taken by the manager or by the auditor by verifying the documentation? It has to be properly filled. And alteration, in case if there is any alteration, say 5 lakhs is written as 50 lakhs or 5 lakh rupee is being written as 50 lakh rupee. So that means if you do some alteration in the document, it has to be countersigned by the borrower. It has to be countersigned by the borrower. Alteration will also be there. And if there is any alteration that you are seen during the verification of documentation, you have to see whether all those alterations have been countersigned properly. Next one has to be executed in the presence of the officer. It has to be executed in the presence of the officer. Next one is the documents have to be filled. Nowadays, the system they are by system they are filling the documentation. They are taking the printout from the system, and if the documents have been taken from the system, you have to see whether the borrower name is common in all the application, because sometimes they do the cut paste. You can definitely find the party name is different, loan amount is different. Sometimes party name, you can see, you are seeing only the party name and the loan amount may be different. And even the schedule of the property, because party A has given some his property, but when they are writing the party B documents, since they are doing the cut paste, the party A's property will appear in the party B property. So you have to be very, very careful if they prepare the documents in the system. And if it is being done manually, the application has to be filled by the same officer and with the same ink. That means the ink should not be deferred. You should not have the different ink. Suppose if they initially filled in black ink, And if they subsequently, if they corrected and if they filled in bluing, that is also wrong because they have taken the stand. So it's a later thought. At the time of obtaining the loan, they filled everything in black, and after filled in blue, that is not in the presence of the borrower. They did the alteration. So this is also another stand they are taking it. So the same person has to fill the document and with the same ink. And the party has to put the full signature and not initial. So if I said normally if I put the signature, I have to put fully. And few borrowers, what they do for, because they have to execute some 700 documents or 600 documents, they have to put some 600 signatures. So they used to put the initial. So that should not be the case. So that means you have to see whether the documents have been signed with full signature and not by initial. This is a point as an auditor. You have date and place is very, very important. And the date tallies with the first installment. That means the date must, that is the date that you have mentioned in the document should not be after the release of the first. So it must be within the date of sanction or after sanction before release of the first installment. Within that date, you have to mention the documents. It must tally with the first installment. It should not be after the date. And don't put only after don't put only after loan amount. So if it is 1 lakh only in figures, be written as 1 lakh. That's all. It should not be 1 lakh only. So normally most of the bankers, when they write the figure amount, they put 1 lakh only. It should not be the case. You have to write only 1 lakh. But in words, they say that it is 1 lakh only. So figures should not be followed by 1 lakh, only, and for words, it has to be followed by only 1 lakh, only in words. In figures, it should be only 1 lakh. So this point you have to bear at the time of when preparing the documents. And power of attorney, if there is any power of attorney given to the borrower, it must be registered before the sub-register. It must be registered. Suppose in case of the bankers, anybody authorizes anybody. See, there is a power of attorney to execute the document. That is a very, very important. Power of attorney to operate the document, that is a different issue. Attorney to execute the document. Suppose in case if NRI is there, he is not able to come to India. He wants to get a loan from India. The documents have to be registered. Here he is giving his power to say his father. This father has to go to the registrar and he has to register the power of attorney. Because this power of attorney registration has to be done at say if the person is there at UK, he has to register there and send the document to India. So this is a very, very important thing. One thing you have to notice that the property is, that is the loan is standing in the name of the son, and if the father is registering the document, you have to ask where is the power of attorney, whether the same power of attorney is registered or not, and enter everything in the loan register properly. There is a loan register, you have to ask for the loan register. In the loan register, you have to enter everything properly. And in case of illiterate person, sometimes some borrowers, they are not able to execute the document because they don't know how to sign. So you have to get the thumb impression. In case of women, you have to get the left thumb impression. In case of men, you have to get the right thumb impression. This is a very, very important thing. So bankers, what they do for the men, they get the only left hand thumb impression. So this is one important thing that you have to see. For women, you have to get the right arm thumb impression. For the men, you have to get the left thumb impression. Here, I'll ask another question. In case, if the left thumb is not there for the applicant, it has been destroyed or been cut due to some accident, which finger they have to use? Whether it is this finger or this finger or this finger or this finger, because your left thumb is not there. Which finger you have to get? Well, both the left or right was not there. Which finger you have to get? Any experience for it? Any experience for it? Because if the left finger or right thumb is not there, then you have to use the next one, which is next to this. If both are destroyed, then the third one. So in this manner, you have to get the signature. If it is, if you are sanctioning a loan to the illiterate person. Okay. Next thing is witness. So here I'll ask a very interesting question. How many witnesses are required for a document? How many witnesses are required for a document?
Two,
Put it
two,
in
sir.
chat. Sir? Now, normally we are preparing the partnership deed. In that partnership deed, we are getting signature of 2. Asking how many witnesses are required? Is it 2 witness or 3 witness or 4 witness? How many witnesses are required, sir? It's a very important area. You can put it in the chat box. Yeah, minimum. Yogendra Reddy sir said minimum 2, and Jayabalan sir said 1 for each person. Suppose there are 4 partners, you have to get 4 signature, and Yogendra Reddy said minimum 2. Badish said 2. The act says it is minimum 2. A witness, though there are some 2 partners, you have to get minimum 2. Even you can get 10 witnesses for this minimum, this 2 persons who have executed the document. This is also one more. Suppose in the content audit examination, or even the legal also. Suppose for writing a law examination, this is also one of the MCQ. How many witnesses required? Another question is, yeah, there is a defect in witness signature. There is a defect in the witness signature. Can that make the document as defective? It's a very interesting question. It's a very interesting question. There is a defect in the witness or witness details or witness signature. Can that witness defect in the witness details make the document as invalid? It's a very practical case. There's a very practical case because most of the advocates they are taking shelter. If there is any witness in document, and Yogendra said yes, it's a defect in the witness will definitely make the document as defective. Any opinion, anything about this, sir? Defect in document will definitely make the document as defective. This is the answer. Because sometimes when they summon the witness, suppose what they, in one of the cases where I have seen is, the name of the witness is say Ravindran. Let us say Ravindran is the witness, and some Yogendra come and sign the document against my name. That's a defect because the signature differs. And Badish has signed, Badish details have been given, but somebody has executed the document. Even sometimes the name of the father of the witness also differs. So a defect in the documentation, defect in the witness will definitely make the document as defect. It's a very important thing that you have to see. Here, the witness is required for the purpose of mortgage, sale deed, and guarantee, and power of attorney, and assignment of instrument, and will. For all this, witness is required. So here I want to tell one thing about the will. Suppose if any will is obtained, then the will comes into effect only when a will can be modified. A will can be will be effective only when the person who has executed the will has died. For that, to bring the will, they have to go and probate before the court of law. For that, the death certificate of the person who has written the will, that is a must one. A will may be registered or may not be registered. It's a very important thing. A will may be registered even in a plain white sheet also. A will can be executed. So it will come into effect only after the death of the person who has executed the will. And will registration is not. It is not mandatory. It is only an optional. It can be doing. So and also there is one word that is called as intestate. Intestate, this is a word. This will be useful when you read the document. Intestate, INTESTAT. It's intestate, because if any person has got a self-acquired property and he died, if he has died by writing a will, then everything has to pass on as to act according to the will. And if he died without writing a will, then all the legal heirs have got equal right over the property. This process is called as intestate. Intestate means it's without writing a will, if you've got any property, then the legal ownership belongs to all the legal heirs. Because at the time of executing document, in case the parent document belongs to his father and the father has expired without writing the will, then this is possible. This is possible. So will has to be probated, and if it is registered, then you have to act according to the will. And if the will is not registered, then the borrower, he has to produce the death certificate of the father and the legal heirs, and all the legal heirs, they have to come to the bank and they have to execute all the loan documents. It's a very, very important thing. And for will, the witness is also required. And what are the types of charges? One is, it's a fixed charge that is not to be dealt without the permission of the banker. And a floating charge, it deals with stock. It's a floating charge against a stock. And that is created in favor of the creditors equally in proportion among the creditors. That is, all the creditors have got the equal right. If there is any pari passu charges, then all the creditors have got the equal share over the amount. So all the three charges you must show fixed charge. That is, it has to be dealt without the permission. So that means if there is any fixed charge, the borrower has to go and create the fixed charge. They are using the word floating charge. That means it has to be directly dealt with the stock and not with anyone. And pari passu means pari passu clause. If there is there in the document, it has created the charge in favor of all the creditors equally. Next one is stamping. So this is a very, very important. I've used the word stamping because it's a part of documentation. I'm going to highlight all the important of stamping. One is you have to then the stamping has to be done as per the Indian Stamp Act. Previously it was except J&K. Now Jammu Kashmir is part of India. So that has been removed. So it has to follow the Indian Stamp Act of 1899. And the stamping, what is the power that they have given to central government? And the stamping is demand promissory note, bill of exchange, letter of credit, money receipt, and share certificates. For all this, the money, what they have collected in the form of stamps, the money goes to the central government. And if there is any proxy that is in share, that is at the time of meeting, you are issuing some proxy for that, they have to affix the stamp, and the stamp revenue has to go to the central government. So all the decisions with reference to drawing power, demand promise note, bill of exchange, LC, money receipt, share certificate, proxy, and debentures, and insurance policy stamping, the decisions have to be taken by the central government and not by the state government. Other than this, all the powers are going to the state government. Say mortgage receipt, the decision with reference to mortgage fees has to be fixed by the concerned state government. Hypothecation, guarantee, pledge, power of attorney charges, partnership deed. In Tamil Nadu, it is 300 rupees, and I don't know about the other states. Because in Tamil Nadu, it is 300 rupees. You have to use it towards the partnership deed. I think if it is from Karnataka, it differs, Andhra, it differs, and even at Delhi also it differs. So the partnership deed, stamp duty, it depends on the state government policy. In agreements, and all this is the power of the state government to fix the stamp duty towards mortgage, hypothecation, guarantee, and pledge. Now, what are the types of stamps available? I have said it's a judicial stamp and non-judicial stamp. Judicial stamp is the stamp issued by the court. It's a stamp issued by the court. And now bankers, they are getting the non-judicial stamp, or they are using the non-judicial stamps. That is with reference to special adhesive and special adhesive. Special adhesive is for the special purpose they are affixing the stamp. And e-stamping is also now available. E-stamping has also come. And embossed stamping has also come. So these are the types of stamps that is available. Suppose if you are going to Karnataka, you will get only e-stamping. But in Tamil Nadu, only few places we can find e-stamping and not at all places. But in Karnataka, e-stamping has already come into the picture. And other type of stamping, I can add another type of stamping is called as that is revenue stamp is also there. So judicial and non-judicial, they are divided into two parts. That is types of stamps. And when you will get the valuation of the stamp, when you have to cancel the stamp. That is also another important point that you have to see. It has to be stamped before or at the time of execution of the document, not after the date of execution of the document. This point you have to bear in mind. The stamp, you have to fix the stamp or stamp the documentation before execution of the document. And the value of the stamp is very, very important. For this, please refer the concerned state policy. Is the value of the stamp, whether it has to be executed in 100 rupees or 200 rupees or 5 rupees or 10 rupees. Every value you can get from the, based on the Stamp Act of the respective state, you can get the value of the stamp. And non-cancellation or improper cancellation or unstamped. Non-cancellation means you have affixed, but you are not cancelled. See, with reference to adhesive stamp, I will tell, it's one of the audit comments. Adhesive stamps, bankers, they affix on the document. Normally, they have to, manager has to sign on the adhesive stamp. If it is not signed, it is called as non-cancellation of the stamp. Improper cancellation, the managers, they have to affix the seal and get it signed. And if it is only seal is there and no signature is there, only signature is there, seal is not there, it is called as improper cancellation. I think if you have got any doubt, you can ask. Unstamped means no stamp is affixed on the document. No stamp is affixed on the document. That is called as unstamped document. So non-cancellation or improper cancellation or unstamped documents. So I think members are clear with this three: non-cancellation, improper cancellation, unstamped. Next point is one signature has to be obtained outside the stamp. Suppose in the demand promissory note, demand promissory note, let us take this as a demand promissory note. You have to affix the stamp here and get the signature outside the stamp. Get the signature outside the stamp. So for each and suppose if two partners they are executing the document, they have to execute the document on the stamp, revenue stamp, and below that they have to get their signature without, they have to sign the document without stamp also. So sometimes they say that I have not executed the document. They affix the revenue stamp. In that manner also they can argue. So for that they say that there has to be, you have to get the two signatures on the document. Stamping outside India. Suppose if you are resigning, if any person resides outside India, how to do the stamping? The stamp within 3 months after the same is reached India. The borrower is say he is from UK. He is a NRI. He has executed the document. He has sent the document to India by courier. So when it reaches India, that date of courier is very, very important. Date of receipt from the postal department is very, very important. From that, within 3 months, that document has to be stamped by the branch manager. So it is a proof that the signature, the borrower has signed outside India, the document has come into India. So it's a very, very important thing. But this has to be stamped within 3 months after the same is reached in India. Next point is stamped outside India. Stamping outside India. Now stamped outside India is pay stamp duty as per the state of execution. In case for the stamping outside India means outside India, the borrower has signed in the presence of say ambassador or in the presence of the notary public of the respective foreign country. Then he has sent the document here. Now it has come to India. Now it has to be stamped. the stamping has stamp cost, stamp value has to be done as per the state government's policy. Say for each and every state, they have got a different stamp duty. For each and every state's policy, you have to get the signature. So I think, are you comfortable now? If you got any doubt, you can ask. That is stamping outside there. This is a very, very important thing. Sometimes you are getting loan. You have to verify the loan application from NRI. Then these are the things that you must know. So without coming to the branch also, the manager can sanction the loan, but the stamping has to be done in the presence of the notary public or advocates of foreign country, or in front of the ambassador. They have to execute the document. They have to send the document to India. After it reached India, then the bank manager, he has to affix the stamp in India, because he has given the power of attorney to any person in India. The stamp has to be affixed on the document within 3 months after the same is received in India. So it's a very, very important audit area. This point you have to concentrate. And if transferred, pay the difference amount of stamp duty. What if transferred? Suppose if you transfer the at the time of execution, the document has come to Tamil Nadu. If you transfer the document to say Karnataka, the difference amount you have to pay. In case if the Tamil Nadu government has charged 10 rupees, and if it goes to Karnataka, it is 12 rupees, you have to pay the difference of 2 rupees only. Because already 10 rupees has gone to Tamil Nadu. So in case the stamp, that is the place of utilization, place of the borrower in India, is being transferred from one state to another, then they have to pay the difference amount in the stamp duty. So here up to, I think up to this, are you comfortable? If you have got any doubt, you can ask, sir.
Sir, please repeat non-cancellation or improper cancellations.
Sir, non-cancellation means in the document, I'll get it done. Let us take this a document. They have written the document. They have to affix the stamp, attach a stamp on the top of the document. They only affix, and no signature is being put by the borrower, and no seal is being affixed by the bank. So that is called as non-cancellation. That is, stamp is there, but it is not cancelled. One.
Okay, sir.
And improper cancellation. So normally the rule says the adhesive stamp has to be cancelled by way of affixing the seal, and the manager has to sign. Then only it is properly cancelled. In some cases, the seal will be there, manager's signature will not be there. In some cases, manager's signature will be there and the bank seal will not be there. So that is called as improper cancellation. Correct?
Okay, sir.
Even that you asked this question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. That is, now you are clear, no? That is called as improper cancellation. Unstamped, yes. No stamp is affixed. No stamp is affixed. That is called as unstamped. So okay, the difference between non-cancellation, improper cancellation, and unstamped. Any doubts, sir, up to this? Now I am moving. Can I move to the next thing, sir? Okay. I am going for the types of the borrowers who has to execute the document. Types of the borrowers who has to execute the document. One is individual. Suppose an individual borrower, he can execute the document in his individual capacity. And partnership form. So that is one thing that you have to see with reference to partnership deed. Partnership deed, see, even as per the Indian Partnership Act of 1932, writing a partnership deed is only optional. But if you want to get a loan from the bank, you have to you have to write the partnership deed, you have to get the same thing registered before the, same thing, you can get the register, the same thing before the registrar. And either in Tamil Nadu, I can tell in Tamil Nadu, partnership form has to be renewed every year. Partnership form has to be renewed every year. If renewal is not done, then partnership has to be treated as invalid. In case if any partnership form they want to avail the loan from the bank, then the manager they insist for the partnership deed registration. One. And second thing, all the partners they have to come and execute the documents in front of the manager. In case if any authorization is being given to someone, that authorization which is equivalent to power of attorney, it has to be registered before registrar. Then only they have to come and register those documents. So and this is with reference to partnership, and in partnership form, one has to see there should be a fixture of partnership seal. Partnership seal, and you have to see that only the partners they have to come and sign, and not the staff of the concern. In few areas, I found that the accountant has signed the document on behalf of the partner. So that is to be treated as invalid. So in case of partnership firm, only the partners they have to come and execute the documents. In case of HEF, the Karta of the HEF, they have to come and execute the document. And one can ask whether the bankers they are sanctioning a loan to HEF. Yes, the bankers they have to sanction the loan to HEF. HEF is being represented by the Karta. Karta they have to come and execute the document. There is a declaration form to be signed. There is a declaration for HEF, and in that HEF declaration form, all the HEF members they have to sign the HEF form, declaration form, and on producing this HEF form, the HEF Karta can come and execute the document. And joint account holder. Suppose if the account A and B are the joint account holders, they have to come and jointly, they can come and jointly and they can execute the document. Joint account holder. Next thing is trust. In case of trust, all the trustees have to come and join, have to come and execute the document. And in case of trust, all the trustees they have to come and sign the document. If all the trustees they authorize anyone, he has to come and execute the document. Normally, bankers they don't want to take risk, because in case of trust, all the trustees must execute the loan document. And one information I want to tell, because the trust, with reference to trust, all the education institutions they are getting the loan from the bank. So it is the educational trust is being run by the trustees. So all the trustees they have to come and appear before the manager. Then they have to take the risk, because the bankers they never authorize, they never allow the trustees on the authorization. So this is a very important thing. But this is possible in the case of limited company. This is possible in the case of limited company. In case of executor and administrator, they have to come and execute. Agent or attorney, power of attorney, they can come and sign it. In case of association, all the key persons who are in the post, they can come and sign the document. Association. And note, legal provisions differ from person to person. This is a very important thing. So here I have not included the limited company. The limited, in case of limited company, all the board of directors, it is not all the shareholders, they have to sign. It is all the board of directors, they have to come and execute the document at the bank. And in case if the company passes a resolution that all the, that is they authorize as a managing director to execute the document, the bank, they have to ask for the signature in their form to be, that is the authorization, signature, all the directors, they have to put in the bank's format. One, the resolution passed at the company also should be signed by all the directors, and they have to hand over that resolution copy to the bank. Then only the managing director is allowed to execute. In case if the company failed, the CFO can also execute the document. Then all the board of directors, they have to jointly authorize the CFO to execute the document. I think bankers, they will not take this risk. the documents have to be executed only by the board of directors and not by all shareholders. Only in rare cases, they are allowing the managing director to sign the loan doc. So it's a very, very important thing. The legal provisions differ from person to person. What is the qualification of the borrower? You are entitled to get the loan from the bank. He should not be a minor. He should not be a minor. This is a very, very important thing. So this you can get from the document, from the KYC. From the KYC, what is the name of, what is the age of the borrower that you have to see. Yeah, I want to tell one thing. A student is there, but who is not a minor. That means he is studying, say, he is studying some CA. Let us take CA, Chartered Accountancy. He is an article. Can he sign the loan document? So, question I want to ask. See, he is a student. He is an article clerk under you. Can he be a partner in business or can he sign the document? This
That's not allow anyone to.
Sir?
Institute does not allow student to be a partner.
So that means a student need not
Cannot be a partner.
need not
in a
be a
business.
partner. That is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
In case I put the question in a different way. In case he has got the right over the business due to the death of his father.
Due to
That is
that
also another thing.
Ah.
With reference to CA insured, whatever be the thing, you have to get the information. You have to share the information to the insured, and you have to, in specific cases, you have to get the permission.
Okay.
This is with reference to our insured. And this is the same thing with reference to all types of things. I'll tell, there is a university. He is studying some become third year. He would have crossed 18 years. He has entered into business, but university rule says that you should not do any business because they are violating university rules. But according to the bankers, he is more than 18 years. He can sign. But the restriction is only from the university and not from the banker. But normally when they say this, they say that you please get the no objection letter from the institution. But bankers, they have got no right to say. I can say that I can't say they have got no right to say. The right way is they are executing the document as per the Banking Regulation Act. Whether he is a student or not, that is not the lookout of the banker. He should not be a minor. That is the only condition. But from the university angle, from the institute angle, they say they do some restriction. You are not supposed to do the business. But with reference to bank, there will not be any restriction. This is what I felt. Then you should not be a person of undischarged insolvent. Then you should be a person of sound mind. You should be a person of sound mind. And you should have good sense. And the document should not be signed when was in drunken mode. When he was in drunken mode. So this has to be taken care of only by the branch manager and not by the auditor. And the manager has to stand as witness that the document has been signed before him in a good sense. So it should not be signed on drunken mode. Next thing is minor to be signed by the guardian. In case of partnership, if there is any loan, then the minor has to be represented by the guardian. So minor, he cannot share the loss, he can share only the profit. But with reference to any loan, if a minor has to be represented by guardian, in most of the cases, the bankers, they never allow this point. But as per rule, a minor can be represented by guardian. But most of the bankers, if they felt that if one of the borrower is a minor, they will not entertain. So this is another important point that you have to bear in mind. Next one is registration of charges by companies. In case if the loan is being borrowed by the company, what are the registration? As per 77 of Companies Act of 2013, the registration of a charge has to be created in the form of charge on the immovable property and movable property other than the pledge. For that, charge can be created. And it's a floating charge on all properties including stock. So when they create a charge before floating charge, you have to create all the floating charge. Here, with reference to charge creation before ROC, I want to tell the charge has to be created before ROC within 30 days from the date of sanction of the loan or from the date of execution of the document. In case if there is any delay on the part of the company, delay can be counted for another 30 days. The charge can be created either by the company director or by the lender. In case no charge is created beyond that 30 plus 30, that is beyond 60 days, there is no, the provision is silent in Companies Act of 2013. That is beyond 60 days. How to create charge, the Companies Act is silent. Do you have any evidence for it, sir? Because I want to update my knowledge. So according to me, first within 30 days from the date of execution of the document, they have to go and create the charge creation at the ROC. And if there is any delay, further it can be controlled for further 30 days. And the charge, additional charge, this charge can be created by the borrower or by the lender. In case if there is a delay beyond 60 days, in case if the delay is beyond 60 days, the act is silent. The act is silent. This is what I felt. Any difference of opinion or any experience on this point? And a charge has to be created on issue of debentures. The charge creation has to be submitted within 30 days of creation of the document. And charge creation certificate, it must be available at the file. It must be available at the file. So in case if any loan is given to ROC, that is any loan is given to the companies, you have to get it, the charge creation certificate from the ROC. And now, so far we have seen who has to create the charge, who has to create the document we have seen. Now, what is the limitation period? This is also very much important. What is the limitation period that you have to see? What is demand promissory note? This is what I said. The life of the DP is only 3 years. So here, this is the DP. Limitation period of all loan documents. One is term loan. It is 3 years from date of last installment. Suppose if you have executed the document today, every month they are doing it, but the 3 years you have to take from the last installment. So in case even if you have not obtained demand promissory note, even after 3 years, they calculate the 3 years from the last installment. In case of demand loan, it is 3 years from date of loan. DPN, 3 years from date of DPN. See, you just see the difference of A and B. A means 3 years from the date of last installment. If the loan is for 60 months. See, it has to be renewed before the end of 3 years. It has not been, the signature has not been obtained. So what the managers did, they are calculating 3 years from date of last installment. This point you have to see with reference to term loan. For others, demand loan 3 years from date of loan. DPN, it is 3 years from date of execution. And with reference to cash credit, 3 years from date of hypothecation. Then bill discounting, 3 years from date of due of discounted bills, bill purchase. Everything is 3 years from date of execution. And only for term loan, it is from last installment you have to take. Guarantee is also from date of invocation. Guarantee starts. Because guarantee is there, it's a non-funded advance. When that guarantee is being invoked, that invocation date is taken as the date of document. From there it is 3 years. And EM, equitable mortgage, that is 12 years from date of creation of charge. So if you that is within the life of the equitable mortgage is got 12 years from the date of creation of the charge. A decree, execution of decree, that is court has passed an order. Okay, you can go and recover the property. You can go and recover the money. So execution, that is decree means court directions has been given. You can go and get the money. So from the date of decree order issued by the court, within 12 years, they have to execute, they can come and execute the degree. This is the limitation of period. If it goes beyond 12 years, that degree, that is court order, has become invalid. So it's an important thing that we have to see with reference to limitation, and you have to obtain the facility-wise documentation. If there is any term loan, you have to obtain for term loan separately, CC separately. It should not be in a joint manner. You have to obtain the documentation on facility-wise or not by, for CC separate, term loan separate, bank guarantee separate, letter of credit separate for each and every head of loan. Say, let us take for non-funded advances, funded advance. In funded advance, term loan is there, CC is there. You have to obtain separate document. With reference to non-funded, bank guarantee is there, LC is there. For each and everything, you have to get a separate documentation. There is not a combined documentation. There is no combined documentation available for each and every facility. You have to obtain the document. Very important thing. Whenever you are going for audit, managers say that, sir, we have obtained the document for a term loan. That is also sufficient for CC. Because they want to tell, they definitely tell a lot of stories. If you point out any mistake, don't hear the manager's stories. Don't hear the manager's stories. So what is actual that you are to report? Next one is, what are the documents to be obtained by the banks? In case of limited companies, that is, what are the enclosures? Memorandum of association, articles of association, certificate of commencement of business, board resolution to get a loan from the bank. For that, they have to pass the board resolution. That board resolution copy must be obtained by the banks. In case if anyone is there as a guarantor, they have to get a guarantee letter. And normally bankers, they insist that the directors will be, they are also to be treated as guarantors. So for that individual guarantee letter, they have to obtain from the directors. And one can ask, as per the Supreme Court decision, all the directors' personal property is attached. Previously, it is a limited liability. So even directors' property will not be attached. That is why they have formed a private limited company or public limited company. But later on, the Supreme Court has come out in a case that directors' personal property can also be attached. So that's why that's a restriction they put. And it is not the personal property of the shareholders. It is the personal property of the directors are also attached as per the Supreme Court decision. So directors, they will definitely take care to company and stamped agreement by the directors not to receive any commission. There's a separate agreement that bankers, they will get that. Bankers will, directors, they will not get any commission from the transaction. But in few cases, few directors, they used to receive the commission. For that, if there is any specific agreement, then that should be informed to the bankers. But there should be a stamped agreement by the directors not to receive any commission. And directors list with the ROC certification. So who are all the directors? They have to get a certificate from the ROC. So that certificate form you have to get from the ROC. Then it has to be attached. It should be forming part of the loan documentation. Charge creation certificate. Suppose in case if there is any charge creation, search certificate before rendering the institution, before rendering the loan to the company. Just like encumbrance certificate in the loan, they have to go and get the search certificate. Charge creation search certificate must be there. Then KYC norms of all directors. So the branch has to get all the KYC of the directors. All the KYC of all the directors, the branch, they have to get. What are the KYC that you know it? PAN card, Aadhaar card, and passport are all forming part of the KYC. And who is the overall the directors? That list also you have to get. List of the directors. Those directors' names should be there in ROC. The managers, they insist for the list of the directors. And other details, in case if the bankers, they insist for any other details, they ask for the details as per the bank's requirement. Next area is in case of partnership form, partnership letter. There is a, see, one thing, you have written a partnership deed, but there is a partnership letter. It's a letter available at the bank, at the branch. They will also get their signature in the partnership letter. you have to see whether the branch has obtained the partnership letter duly signed by all the partners, and they insist for the partnership deed and firm registration certificate. Once again, I say that the firm registration in Tamil Nadu, it is valid only up to 31/3. That means they have to renew all the firm registration once in year. So they have to, then only that firm is in existence. Firm is in existence. Form certificate has to be renewed every year. It is only then only the bank is authorized to give money to the firm. Because banks, they are not supposed to deal with the unregistered firm. So this point you have to see, it differs from state to state. And partners KYC norms, just like director KYC norms, partners KYC norms, they will insist, and they see the CIBIL for this also. Based on the partners KYC, they go and see the CIBIL. If there is any defect in the CIBIL, then the firm, they will not get the loan from the bank. So in case of HEF letter is there in the bank's format, and HEF members declaration letter is also there. And if it is a family business details, in case the HEF is doing the family business, what are the family business that HEF is running, they will get a letter and KYC details of the Karta. Next one is in case of trust deed is a must one. KYC norms of the trustees. Then resolution copy to get a loan from the bank, that is also required. And in case of clubs, associations, schools, association bylaw copy must be produced. And who are all the managing committee of clubs, association clubs, and their KYC has to be obtained. And resolution copy to get the loan from bank, that must also to be what I want to say about the planning and documentation. I think I've touched a very basic thing. So I've given much importance to documentation because the documentation is a base based on which you can file the case before court of law if anything goes wrong. Any doubt with reference to this, you can ask me. With reference to planning, the institute has given the guidelines for all those guidelines. I'm going to cover individually in my other presentation. If you've got any doubt with reference to this, you can ask. Any doubts, sir? And thank you very much for the first portion of my presentation. Today, and I've covered planning and documentation. I hope members are very comfortable. I think they've got very good knowledge in planning and documentation. Any doubt, you are welcome, sir. Okay, I'm going to the next portion. I'm going to start with long form audit report. I'm going to start with long form audit report. Just hold on, I'm going to. Is this PPT visible, sir? Long form audit report.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. And
yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Sir, any doubt, you are welcome. And this is a based on which you have to do the audit. Though they are saying that long form audit. For now, the present trend of the banker is the long form audit report work is being given to the concurrent auditors. Some few banks, they already started by saying that long form audit report has to be audited by the concurrent auditor of the banks. And even yesterday, I have received a phone call from my bank, from my friend saying that, sir, this fees of concurrent audit is only 13,500 or 14,000 rupees, he said, and it has to be filled, it has to be prepared by the concurrent auditor. In case if the work is being given to the statutory auditor, they are saying that it is 15% of the fees they have to pay. In case if you are receiving fees of 3 lakhs per branch, 15% works out to 45,000 rupees. So to avoid expenditure and to have very good time consuming, they prefer the long form audit report. LFAR has to be signed by the concurrent auditor. I think very soon we will also be not getting this LFAR audit. So I'm going to start with LFAR. And I'm going to start with LFAR. If you we concentrate on LFAR, almost all areas of audit is over. Almost entire audit is over, but everything is included in the LFAR. So I'm going to start with LFAR. What is LFAR? So please refer, initially they have introduced RBI circular on 17/4/2022. That was existing before they introduced the new LFAR. And now this new LFAR comes into picture from 5/9/2020. And in 5/9/2020 only you have to do the LFAR. So old LFAR is gone, has gone, and new LFAR has come. And it is applicable from the financial year 2021. It is applicable financial year 2021. And even I can say that all this LFAR reporting has to be done only in this new format. So you have to forget the old format. And report as per LFAR specifically, and it is mandated. Why they in the LFAR they have given a specific report, specific thing. Why you have to why you have to give specifically. See, whenever we are going for audit, when you ask for the last year LFAR, normally only 4 items you can find. Only 4. Most I can say that almost in 80% of the branches you can have only 4 items. No, nil, not applicable, yes. No, nil, not applicable, and yes. Other than that, there are no columns. So no, nil, not applicable, yes, is the main thing. So in this, the RBI has come out clearly that if you say no, why it is no, you have to give your reply. And if it is yes, you have to give yes. If it is not applicable, then you have to say why it is not applicable. So that point you have to see. So that is why they put that report as per LFAR specifically, and it is mandatory. So in this year, suppose we are going and preparing the LFAR, you have to give a specific answer. Don't give vague answer. No, nil, not applicable. Yes. Here, it is a mandatory thing of the Reserve Bank of India. And in case central auditor, if they want any additional details to be submitted by the auditors, then they will inform this to the bank audit committee. The bank audit in turn they inform the statutory branch auditor to give the additional points. This is also a provision. There is also another provision in the LFAR. So here they say that if central statutory auditor, they want any specific additional materials, these points they have to give it in writing to the bank audit committee. There they are doing it. So I want to say one thing, I'm covering the entire presentation only from the branch audit angle and not from the central statutory auditor. This point you have to bear in mind. So the central statutory auditor, they have got the power to add additional details in addition to the LFAR. This point also you have to see. You have to remember. In LFAR, it's a timely submission of LFAR is very much important. Normally they say that, see, you can submit the audit report separately. You can also submit the LFAR separately. And you have to submit the LFAR within 30 days within the 30 days from the date of completion of our audit. But normally all the auditors, they submit the LFAR along with the audit report also. So timely submission of LFAR is must. And this LFAR has to be placed before audit committee board, audit committee board or local advisory board for rectification of irregularities, if any. So you have prepared the LFAR, you have submitted the same thing to the central statutory auditor, and the central statutory auditor, based on your finding, they compile all the auditors LFAR, and if there is any irregularity, they prepare all the irregularities as a bank as a whole, and they submit this LFAR to the audit committee board, and to rectify the irregularities. This is what the central statutory auditor they are doing, and the central statutory auditor has to submit. Within 60 days of submission of LFAR report by the central statutory auditor. Submit. That is, first thing you are submitting to the central statutory auditor. Statutory auditor, central statutory auditor, they are preparing LFAR. They are submitting the same to the branch officials, that is bank, and the bank, they have to submit to RBI within 60 days. So it is the duty of the banker, they have to submit the LFAR report duly signed by the central statutory auditor to RBI within 60 days from the date of submission of the LFAR. So it has to be, that is, the submission has to be done only by the central statutory auditor and not by the branch auditor. This point you have to remember. And LFAR has to be submitted by the central statutory auditor by collecting all the branch records, and LFAR has to be submitted by the statutory branch audit. That is, suppose by the branch auditor also, he has to prepare and submit the same thing to the central auditor. That is, branch auditor, he has to submit to the central statutory auditor. Central statutory auditor, he has to compile all the LFAR are submitted by all the branch auditors, and he has to prepare a consolidated LFAR, and he has to submit the same thing to the board for the irregularities. After that, after irregularity rectification, this LFAR has to be signed by the central statutory auditor, and he has to submit the same thing to the banker, and banker in turn, they have to submit the same thing to the RBI within 60 days from the date of submission. This is what you should know about the LFAR submission. Now, there's a regular questionnaire. There's a regular questionnaire is there in the LFAR, and also there is a separate questionnaire available for the specialized branches dealing with foreign exchange transactions, branches having very large advances recovery of non-performing clearinghouse operations. There are two types of questionnaires available. Regular questions applicable for all branches, and there's a specialized questionnaire available for the foreign exchange transactions, very large advances of NPA, and clearing account transaction. There are two types of questionnaires. And auditors of the foreign exchange, LFAR has to be sent to the RBI irrespective of the controlling authority. What I mean, in case if you have been allotted the audit of foreign branches, Indian banks, they have got all the Indian banks, they have got the branches of the foreign country. You have been appointed as the for that branches as auditor. So you have to prepare the LFAR as per the instruction given by the Reserve Bank of India. That is regular questionnaire, because LFAR is being governed by the RBI. And some special items that the foreign country regulatory authorities also require. And you have to submit the LFAR based on that country's rule along with RBI's directives to the controlling authorities of the bank which is having office at the foreign country. So this is the role of the auditors of the foreign exchange. Now, what is the objective scope? This is where I used to doubt the members. I cannot doubt the members' knowledge. Exposure. We can say that exposure. Where statutory branch audit to ensure whether the branch is following the bank's policy. So where is bank's policy? If you don't ask the manager will say that, sir, I am not having any copy of the bank's policy. First thing you have to ask whether is there any circular for the bank's policy. I can vouch almost in 80-90% branches, the managers say that, sir, I am not having copy of the bank's policy. So you have to, if the manager say like that, you have to get a letter from the manager that specifically that I'm not having copy of the bank's policy. Then you have to get the letter from the manager. Then the same thing has to be recorded in your audit report. Next thing is, your branch auditor has to check the systems and processes done by the head office. How you know? The system and processes that what head office knows, you don't know. So for that also, I want to give reference. Please get a letter from the manager and what are the systems and processes done at the head office. He will not give you because he didn't know. So you get a letter from the manager so that you have to report very safely. But these are the specific reports that you have to do. But normally, these details will not be available at the branch. So when we have to submit the report, we have to play the game very safely. So you have to get a letter for this. Next item is branch auditor has to check the data entry, data control system. So if you are, that means you should be well versed in system operation of the bank. So you have to ask for the login report and everything. And that's a separate training for audit under CBS environment. So if you go and attend that type, I'm not going to touch that area. That is what I already said. Data entry and data control system, you have to check. And even according to me, if you are very thorough with the manual system, this entry checking is very easy. So you have to be thorough with the manual system. So State Bank of, statutory branch auditor has to check the data entry and data control system specifically. And branch auditor can report the irregularities and errors in the main report and not in the as a comment in LFAR. In case there is, if you find any document irregularities, only if it is material, you can give it in main report. Otherwise, any irregularities is there, you have to report only in LFAR and not in the main report. In case if the DPN is time barred, it is a major irregularity. Here, DPN is time barred, you can put it in the LFAR. In case there is no DPN, you can put it in the main report. Because it's adverse, it's a major thing that you cannot file. You cannot file the case before court of law. In case if out of 7 documents, only one document, in one document, one signature is missing, it is a minor irregularity. But in case there is no document at all, it is a major irregularity. So that means the irregularities have to be segregated. Which one you have to report to the main and which one you have to report to the LFAR, that is up to you to decide. So now you can report only the irregularities which are material and not all the irregularities in the main report. This was a specific instruction given by the and now I am going for the item-wise LFAR. First item is I am going to start with LFAR asset side cash. Does the system ensure that cash is maintained in an effective joint custody? So you just go through the word. Cash is maintained in joint custody of 2 or more officials as per the instruction of the controlling authorities also. So it is an indirect thing that cash has to be maintained or kept under the dual control. That means minimum 2 officers should be there. More than 2 also that will be there. And here I want to start with one important thing. How to verify the cash? You have entered into the branch and you want to verify the cash. You have entered into the branch and you want to verify the cash. How many methods of verification are there? One is opening cash verification. Second one is closing cash verification. Third one is clip method. And fourth one is folding method. And fifth one is cover method. There are 5 methods of verification of cash. So one is opening cash, closing cash, cover method. This is one group. And method of verification is cover method, folding method, and clip method. So this is 3. In this 3 methods, you can verify the cash. I will tell about the opening cash verification because once we are touching the cash, we want to cover all the important points of cash. One thing is you are entering into a branch and before you branch has opened the counter. It is a opening cash. It's a opening cash. So before they open the branch, you have to be there at the branch. So you can request the manager, sir, please give me the cash vault register. You have to ask for the cash vault register. In that, whatever money the branch they have put inside the vault, it will be there. Inside the vault, it will be there. So you can physically count all the cash that has been put inside the vault. Here, at the time of verification of cash that has been put into the vault, you can adopt two methods. You need not count the 100% cash. If it is very difficult for you, because your branch has got huge cash, it will consume a lot of time. So what you can do, you can pull some random notes you can pull, and in that you need not count all the 100 notes, because that is a time consuming for you. Even sometimes you are not well versed in counting the notes. So that means there is one method called as clip method. That means out of the bundle, you have to clip the notes. Say 90 notes or 92 notes, you can clip it, and the balance you can count it. So it's 100 notes. That's you have to put the clip. You have to put the clip. I'll tell one thing. So let us take. I'll explain now. I'll explain. So notes. It's all 100 notes. Let us say assume that it's 100 notes. It is not possible for you to count all the notes. So what you do, you put a gem clip here. Put a gem clip here, and you ask the cashier to count this portion. You ask the cashier to count this portion, and you can count small numbers. So in this manner, you will get some time. And you don't worry at all. You need not count the entire cash. You need not worry. Because it is only on test check basis you are doing it. So you need not worry that I have to count the entire cash. One. And second thing is there is another method called as clip method one, and second one is folding method. Sometimes they fold the notes. Say out of one bundle they fold some 7 notes or 8 notes, and they ask the manager or officer to count the remaining notes. That is called as folding method. So if the manager says that 93 notes and you can count the 7, okay, the denomination is correct. This is one method. And the same method you can use it for the closing cash method also. And another important thing is you have entered into the branch. You have got some huge cash, say 7 bureaus, 8 bureaus, some almirahs. Everything you have got only notes. You cannot download all the notes. You cannot download all the notes below, and you need not physically count the number of packets. Thing is, you have to adopt row and column wise. You can do the cash. What is the number of row? What is the column? What is the total bundles are inside? That physically you can count. But here I want to tell very, very important thing is that what is the method of cash verification that you have adopted? You have to inform the same thing to the same thing in the audit report. The same thing in the audit report. This is with reference to cash verification. And sometimes there is one method called as push method. Sometimes what you have to do, you have to just push the bundle. So you have calculated row wise and column wise. You are satisfied with the counting, but you need not download all the cash bundles. So what you have to do just push method. You have to do the push method. Then after that, if in one of the branches where I have done this exercise, when I push the bundle, it has fallen down. So that means there was a gap in the middle of the bundle, middle of the cash. But I have calculated on row and column wise, it is okay. When I push the bundle, it has fallen down. Then I counted the physical cash of entire bundle. There I found out that almost cash worth of 34 lakhs have been misappropriated by the cashier and officer. So this is also one type of fraud. So you have to push the bundle. This is a one important thing. Another thing is what is the see, suppose if you are going audit for say A bank, the cash bundle should contain the cash slip of A bank only. And if it contains the other bank seal, that means the cashier has not verified the cash. This is also another point that you have to take in cash verification. Another method is on the above slip, the cashier has to affix the signature or officer has to affix the signature. If there is any cash bundle without signature, then that is a false one. Then that point you have to remove. This is called as opening cash verification and closing cash verification. And next point is it has to be kept under the joint custody. And this cash vault register, because I'm just touching all the cash points, this cash vault register has to be signed on all dates by the joint custodian of the cash. So that means no signature should be left out. On all days, you have to verify all the cash vault register, whether the cash vault register is being signed by all the joint holders. One. Next one is the cash has to be verified every month by the manager of the bank. Every month he has to verify as per the instruction of the controlling authorities. This point you have to see. And sometimes the bank say that another officer has to verify the cash once in a month. The managers can verify the cash once in 6 months, once in 3 months. And another inspection has to be carried out by another branch officer at the branch once in 3 months or once in 6 months. Everything depends on the this depends on the circular issued by the head office or controlling authorities. And all the officers who have verified those cash, they have to affix the signature in the cash vault register. So at the time when you verify the cash vault register, you have to see on what are the dates. It's a specific remarks that you have to give in the LFAR. On what are the dates the cash has been verified by the officer other than the joint holder. You have to take note of the dates signed by the officers. And if they pass on any observation, any comments against the cash verification, that also you have to see. And if it is an adverse comments, then that point you have to cover in your report. This point you have to see. Next point is with reference to the cash verification, the cash vault register, there will be something alteration or cutting will be there. Alteration or cutting will be there. If there is any alteration or cutting, then the officer, they will put the signature above that. But in case if you find any alteration or cutting, then you have to physically verify the working of that page. And this has to be tallied with the figures that they have written below. And another exercise is you have to get the printout of daily balance. So 1 year balance, you have to take it, and this work you can give to your staff. Daily working, you have to daily print out what is the balance that you have to take from the system. And you have to compare the balance that you have taken from the system along with the balance that you have stated in the cash vault register, whether both the balances are tallied. In my experience, in almost some 7 banks, I found there is a difference between the balance that they have stated in the cash code, that is in the cash book, as well as in the cash vault register. So it is also an additional exercise that you have to do it. And there is another method called as, apart from this, I've got another method to explain to you, that is called as cash, that is cover cash method. Cover cash method. Suppose if you are going to 11 o'clock or 11:30, people, they object. If you say that, sir, I want to verify the cash, they say that, sorry, we are running out of time. If you verify the cash, then that will definitely spoil our business. You please verify the cash at the closure of the time. After the closure, you can verify the cash. Then you can convince the manager by saying the method. See, the first you have to explain the manager, sir, there is one system called as cover method. There is one system called as cover method. In that, you have to please go to the cashier cabin. Ask the manager to pull the cash at random, 500, 2000, 200, 50. Every denomination you have to ask the manager to pull the cash at random. Here, I want to tell you are not supposed to enter into the cash cabin. Only the manager has got the right to enter into the cash cabin, and not by you. Don't enter into the cashier cabin. You have to ask the manager to pull the cash at random and put everything inside the cover. You put everything, let us say this is a cover. Let us say this is a cover. You can ask the cashier, ask the manager to put all the covers inside the cover. Then you can fold it, paste it, staple it, and you have to affix the signature. Manager and yourself both of you have to affix the signature and you have to hand over the cover to the management, to the cashier. At the end of the day, when the cashier, he has to tally the cash. When they tally the cash, when he tallies the cash, definitely there will be a difference. That difference should be the money that you have put inside the cover. So here, without disturbing the business, you can do it. So this method is called as cover method. This method is called as cover method. And at the time of, when you execute this type of verification, you have to be there at the branch. You have to be there at the branch. You see, in one of my cases, I have gone for lunch around 2:30 to home. And when I returned by 4 o'clock, the cashier got annoyed because around 3:30, around 3, he has got a phone call from his wife, please come home early. Because they have got some urgent work. So he wanted to go with the permission. When he tallied the cash, he found huge difference, but he has forgotten the money that he has put inside the cover. He has put the money inside the cover. So when I went there and asked, sir, can we tally the cash? Then he said, sir, there is a huge difference. Please give me some time. I will tally and then only I have to inform. Then I told him, sir, have you counted the cash money, the cash that we have put inside the cover? Then only he realized, sorry, okay, it's a mistake. Then he started to shout at me because there is a, why you made me to get this type of tension, this and that. He started to shout. Then, okay, it is an audit. We have to be very, very cool. Then I told him, okay, you tally the cash. Then he saw the physical cash. But he started to shout at me. Then when he saw when he verified the cash, he has found a difference of 500 rupees in that cover. Then I asked him, can I report this? Then he said, sir, give me some time, I will tally this 500. He has tallied the same thing in another half an hour. So this method is called as cover method verification. And this will be useful for you not only in statutory audit, it will be useful in the in the concurrent audit also. In the concurrent audit, it's a very, very good exercise where as per the concurrent auditor's appointment, there is one column in the appointment. They say that you have to verify the cash frequently. So that means if you verify opening cash or closing cash, it will definitely consume your time. In case if you verify the cash by using this cover method, then it will be very, very easy to verify the cash. So this is what I want to say about the cash method verification. If there is any doubt, you can ask in the chat box or in the you can unmute and you can ask. If you are very thorough with the cover method, then it saves a lot of your time because you are doing the audit at the time of the cashier. You don't waste your money. You will not waste your time. Any doubt up to with reference to cash method verification? Okay, I think I don't receive any reply. I think members are comfortable. You can put it in the chat box, sir. I think is it okay or not? You can, because you have to participate in the chat box, so that I will also be satisfied. Jaibalan sir said okay. It is okay. If you, I think he has got no doubt at all. And Yugender Reddy, okay. Okay, now I am moving to the next area of LFAR. Otherwise, I can say that's a starting point of LFAR. I think we can break it here because I'll stop the presentation here. We'll continue the presentation in the afternoon. Because we have got a lot of time. I'll break the presentation here. Can we have some break or can I continue? Because I'll close the session now and come back by 2:30. Because we'll fully concentrate on LFAR in the afternoon. We can fully concentrate on LFAR. Can we break, sir, now?
Yes, sir.
Sir, the break is better because continuing the Jaibalan, sir, I want to tell even I have not have them breakfast.
Yes. Yeah, you proceed, sir. Evening, afternoon, we will take the class.
Afternoon we'll take, sir. Very good, sir.
Because good topic is after lunch.
Yeah, Bhardish, thank you very much. And I think very happy that members are here. And I think Nagaraj and Hemant are all regular, supporter of me whenever I conduct the program. So thank you very much. We will join in the afternoon after lunch, exactly by 2:30. I'm going to cover the entire LFA. I'm going to cover the entire LFA. So almost all the bank audit areas over. Then and with additional inputs in other time. So we'll break it here and we'll join exactly by 3 o'clock. Sorry, 2:30, and 2:30 to 5:30 we'll have the next session. Thank you very much for the patient hearing, and I'm going to close the session and we'll join in the afternoon exactly by 2:30. Thank you.